you head into these OTAs from maybe this time last year? Are you same size, lighter, faster, anything different?
Going into this time, probably just knowing what to expect, you know, and just having a standard and just coming in and trying to bring guys along. Last year, we coming in with gym shorts. We just building the foundation. We trying to actually like find our identity and and build. But I feel like we already have a pretty strong foundation identity here, and just find a way to get better and bring anybody along with me, everybody along with me. On that journey. So yeah, that's what I would say. Going into this year, just bringing everybody along and make sure that we are farther than what we were last year at this point. So that's the goal.
When you look at year two of this defensive scheme, obviously you got finished first in a lot of metrics. Is there any one thing that you think to yourself like, all right, I want us to be better in this regard?
I would say red zone defense. We was in top three, top five in a lot of categories. I want to say in red zone we finished 26 in the league last year. So coming into this year, that's a big goal for us. If we can make guys settle for three points instead of getting 7, we save 4 points for the offense, and 4 points in this league, it's a big difference. And that's my goal for this defense. One of our goals for this defense.
This year off defense, you guys keeping that trio together. How big is that for you guys? And then what are some of the goals that you guys share now that you guys are together?
Oh man, just grateful, to run it back, with those guys with Denzel and Greg. And honestly, man, I'm thankful and blessed, to keep the trio together. And hopefully, we just keep growing, and we know we got goals for each other and expectations. But honestly, just keep growing as young men and guiding each other, and just staying close to faith and coming out here and doing what we do best on the field.
Martin, what's it like to have Deshaun back out there, not throwing today, but back out there throwing, back with you guys and ready to take back over this season?
It means a lot, having our QB1 out there with the guys, just coaching everybody up. He's healthy. Man, we just excited, to just see what he has in store, for us this year.
What did the Browns get in your Mississippi State guy, Nathaniel?
Nathaniel, man, Buki, he is electric. He's a very hyper guy. He comes and play every day, and he's very physical. And that's what we play. Cleveland Browns defense, we're very physical, fast, badassery. And I feel like he brings all that to the table. So I'm excited to have Nathaniel part of this defense.
He was saying he was the leader of that defense, but now he's got to listen to him. Is that a little weird?
I would say he was. He was a leader of defense. He was very vocal, not shy to compete. Holds everybody to the same standard. Man, he gonna fit great in this defense. So I'm excited to have him here.
When you look at the lineup of quarterbacks that you guys are playing this season, have you really thought about that a lot this offseason and looked over it to realize what it's all going to be like?
Yeah, of course I looked at the schedule. I checked that and looked at everybody. Great opponents this year. A lot of primetime games. It's exciting, just to know we're going against a lot of elite talent, and we're going to have to come play every Sunday. And that's our job, that's what we plan on doing. So we'll see on Sunday.
It's got to be a defensive back's dream to look at, Tua, Jalen, Lamar, Joe, Justin. It goes on and on and on, right?
Yeah, a lot of great quarterbacks, man. A lot of great quarterbacks. We look to make a lot of good balls, a lot of plays on the balls against those guys. Y'all good? Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a blessed day.
So how's things been so far? Adjusting to the new organization, new offense, all of that.
It's been great. Honestly, there's some carryover from Buffalo with Ken being here. So it's half learning, half new, and there's some things that I heard in Buffalo that have changed. So it's been great just being in the room, being around the guys. Super appreciative of the opportunity to be here after getting released and picked up, and then just rehabbing every day with Joe and everybody in there. Been welcomed really well, so the adjustment actually been fairly easier than it was when my first transition in Buffalo.
How far along are you in your rehab?
I had surgery August 8th, so nine months and a couple of weeks.
But like how close are you to maybe getting back to
not
just standing out here?
Yeah.
Shirt, I guess.
You guys will not see me out here for OTAs during practice. I should be ready to go for camp. Goal is to be ready right around August 1st or end of July, depending on how my leg just comes around. But goal is to be out there for week 1.
What should we know about Ken that we don't? Because we're not in the room with him.
I think one thing is that he's going to help our passing game out tremendously, especially the empty and explosive plays. I think with him, he's very aggressive. He's not going to be scared to call whatever he calls, and he's going to trust us and believe in us. So there might come times where you're going to be like, why did he call that? And that's because he has a really, really big belief in his guys. And he's going to ride with his guys over his own instinct, I guess, because he trusts us like that. So that's one thing I'll say, and we're going to be aggressive, and he's going to help our basket game get better.
You were really successful as a kick return guy. As you look at the new kickoff rule and kind of explained it, what are kind of your thoughts on the opportunity that are there, especially for the return men?
I'm super excited for the opportunity. One, I think it's going to maybe favor towards running backs or somebody who's going to hit the hole. It's not going to be like you can just run across the field how people used to do back in the day, or super fast guys. So I think personally for me it'll be great. You're going to see a hole and hit it. And then honestly after that, Bubba was my coordinator in Indy. Had a great time with him in Indy. We had some good numbers. So I'm really excited for that and the opportunity to come back out here, get ready, and be a returner.
When you were signed, it seemed like you were pigeonholed as a return specialist, at least by us. But what are people going to see from you as a running back that maybe they won't expect?
A dog. I mean, I'm not the biggest guy in the world, but I'm not going to be scared. I'm going to put my head down there. I'm known for my pass catching ability, so the return specialist thing was kind of disrespectful. Honestly, I don't know any other return specialist who has over 230 catches in 5 years. So I think people kind of forgot that in Buffalo. I was traded, only played 10 games there, had to learn a new offense, didn't have the opportunity last year to play. So I'm really excited to go out there and prove the offensive threat I am. And I'm just as big a threat on offense as I am in the return game, if it's passing, catching, kicking, or an empty. So I'm super excited the opportunity to prove everybody that what I can do on offense.
Speaking of proving, how much have you seen Deshaun throwing, and how does he look? Can you kind of, from your eyes, what do you see out of Deshaun?
Yeah, well, I've been in LA with him rehabbing. Honestly, he's still working through his rehab, but sometimes doesn't feel like it. I've caught some passes from him. They have the zip on it. And I played against Deshaun 9 or 10 years. He's probably one of the only people I've seen where every time I played him, he's gotten better, him and Lamar Jackson. So I'm excited to work with him finally after playing against him all these years, and I'm excited to see him come back. I think he's going to be really special this year and lead us to where we need to go.
Why did this feel like a good fit for you?
I think it was a great fit just because the passing game, first off, I know that was something Cleveland was looking forward to, getting a back and getting guys who were explosive in space. And then the returner opportunity. The returners have been in and out. There's been a lot of different returns over the years, at least for the past couple of years, what I've seen when we've played them. And Bubba was here, so I know Bubba and Ken are probably the two biggest reasons I'm here, so I'm thankful for that and thankful to be here.
Nyheim, 10 months later, how do you process what happened to you?
That's a good question. 10 months later, I process what happened to me is not a blessing in disguise, but it's something you learn from. You learn how things happen, what you can do not to be in that position, and then honestly, you learned who stands outside with you when it's raining outside. Everybody's calling you and asking you for tickets one year, and then you tear your ACL, and nobody's calling you and texting you no more. So it was really good for me, honestly, just to see who's on my side, really, and honestly, this is the hardest thing in my life, and I truly believe that everything is on the other side of hard. So this is the hardest thing in my life, so if I can get through this hard part, I think the best times are coming for me.
How did it happen?
How'd it happen?
Yeah.
I was sitting on a jet ski. I was sitting on a jet ski and got hit.
Okay, that's right.
Has it helped? I don't know how much you've been around him, but obviously Nick is going through a pretty serious injury rehab too. Has it helped being around him if you have been?
Yes, we rehabbed together my first couple weeks here, so it was great just to be with somebody and just rehab with the guys. Honestly, just being a part of the running back room, and obviously Nick is one of the best backs in the league, so I can't wait to learn from him. We came out together, known him for a while now, so I'm super excited to work with him, and it's helped me out a lot mentally.
Okay, thank you, Nyheim.
Thank you.
Thanks. Do you want to?
Yeah,
Dan may want to talk to you, and
Yeah,
Scott.
Okay.
Do you want to talk to Scott?
How different, weird has it been to have a different person at the front of the meeting room in the O-line room?
Yeah, no, it's a transition. I've had a lot of my friends send me Tennessee Titans videos of the heavy bag and all the toys we used to play with, and before it was viral, we were doing that, and you guys all saw it. It wasn't fun, but it was good work, and I know that he's going to get those guys working down there in Tennessee. Here, we're working. I mean, I'm sweating. It's a good day, but it was a lot of work. I mean, techniques and stuff like that are slightly different, but at the end of the day, I mean, there's so many. For lack of a better term, there's so many ways you can skin a cat. It's the same stuff. X's and O's are X's and O's. Technique is going to change slightly, but
What's it been like working with Andy and Roy then, and just your first impressions of them? It seems like Andy especially is pretty like hands-on, loud, that sort of
Yeah,
thing.
well, I would say Bill was pretty hands-on. He'd get in your face if you messed up. But no, it very much so. It's just a very different energy. You know, Bill. I don't think Bill was the one. I mean, he would raise his voice, but he wasn't the one who's screaming. Usually, he'd get Coach Peters to start screaming at us if we really messed up. But no. You know, Coach Andy, he's awesome. You know, he's getting after us, making sure we're running, making sure that we're going to the right places and everything like that. I mean, that doesn't change from coach to coach. But yeah, no, it's a little bit of a transition. It's different, but at the end of the day, he learned under Bill. So a lot of his techniques, a lot of his jargon is Bill stuff.
As an offense, when you guys are looking at some of these changes that have been implemented with Ken Dorsey, in control of that offensive coordinator position, what excites you the most about what this team could do this season?
Yeah, I mean, we have, what he did with Josh Allen. I mean, I was there with him for a year. He was the quarterback coach, not the OC, but Dable was. And, the things that they were able to do there, I wasn't a part of that team. I got traded here, thank God, but I got traded here. And so I knew Dorsey a little bit. But, yeah, no, I think that what he did in Buffalo was amazing. And, I loved AVP, but, that's the way the NFL works. And a lot of turnover, and it is what it is. But, I think that we're doing great. I think that there's a lot of studying because things are going to change a little bit. But like I said, the plays, when I was young, learning what a duo block was, that was hard. Now it's just like, okay, what words are we using to define this play? So just a little thing.
Seattle, he's been there the last few years, but they were much like you guys, a team that liked to run, liked to run the ball. Power was sort of the name of their game offensively. Do you see, when you watch what Seattle did and now what you guys do you see similarities? Were there?
Yeah, we've watched Seattle films, so I'm guessing the plays are going to be similar. It's one of those things that, like, as you're like watching plays and stuff like that, you're seeing that, like, he has this film because that's what he wrote down and he knows what's on the playlist. So, like, those plays we're gonna watch those plays. They're the same plays. We had plays like that. He just, instead of going through a million clips and being like, all right, these three, hey, I already know the clips from the game, so those come up. But yeah, I think that those guards, those tackles, they're big guys. I think that that's very, very similar to us. I'm not 340. Their guards were big boys for a long time, but they've always been good players, every single one of them. So I'm gonna have to, work's cut out for us. We know we're gonna have to work, but we're excited. I think that coach is getting us in the right direction.
Wyatt, you and Joel are some of the best in the game when it comes to the full game and getting to the second.
That's it? Come on, I thought I was done.
But my question is, Kevin has talked about that's going to stay in the scheme with Ken. So how excited are you that, something you seem to really enjoy doing, those pancakes down the field, you're still, even though some things philosophically are changing, that element is going to stay in.
Yeah, at the end of the day, while our OC has changed, our offensive line coach has changed, our head coach is the same, and it's his offense, right? So, like I said, the X's and O's haven't changed. Now, the words we're going to be using, the way we're going to be utilizing stuff, that's the difference in the OC and stuff like that. But, I truly believe that, Kevin's damn good at what he does, and I have full faith in him. This offense, it's going to be, just from the little glimpses, it's potent if we have the right people in the right places. So I said this every single year, and I'll say it again: if we execute, we're going to be a really hard team to beat, right? If we don't, if we turn the ball over, which we're all a part of it. Sometimes I wish that. I made a joke earlier today that I was like, I just wish I was a little bit faster. Maybe I would have stopped one of the picks this year or something. Whatever. Who knows? If I was chasing after the ball or something. But we got to be a little bit more sound team.
Does Tony on a beach somewhere or something?
No, he's here. He's training. Yeah.
Okay.
But I think that he's a smart guy. He goes, I've played 10 years in the league. I don't care which coach it is. I'm going to stay away from the rookies coming off the ball because so much of NFL is how to be a pro, right? How to practice. Now, don't get me wrong. Don't want to walk through practice. There's also a time to be like, oh, I beat you. Brother, this is a walkthrough. This isn't a time to beat me. This is a time to just be like, in your gap, show coach that you know what you're doing. I show coach that I'm doing it, and that's called brotherhood. Good. We got it. We don't need to smash each other's head with no helmets on, right?
You guys had added an interesting guy in the center. I'm just curious your early thoughts on him. versatile player.
Yeah.
Comes from a good program, etc.
Yeah, no, he's a great kid. My initial thoughts, works hard. Coming off an injury, can't tell, which is good. Obviously he has a little sock over it, but he's tough. And I love that. I commend him on that. There's a lot to learn. When I got into the league, I was a 5th round draft pick, so he's better than me, so he better get but he's a great kid, and I know he's going to work hard.
He's gone gator hunting in Florida. Are you guys going to get a trip?
AB told me that I'm not allowed to put a gator on my back. That wasn't a Bill thing. That was an AB thing. But no gator hunting, no hog hunting this year. Having a baby at home really throws a wrench into that, but have got to go home a little bit and spend time with the family.
But just along those lines of learning how to be a pro and this part of the offseason being important for that, like to have a young guy come in who can, take those reps that the vets don't need, and what's most important for him, do you think, going
Well, not only that, I think he hit the nail on the head early when he was drafted. I think he said something along the lines of, I'm coming in behind 2 unbelievable players. I have so much to learn from them, and it's true. At any time, if Joel, he's been an unbelievable player for so long without getting injured, and then last year was a little bit of a bumpy year. Same thing the past 4 years. There have been 2 or 3 years that I haven't been playing at the best. It's amazing how injuries work. But no, it's just one of those things that we have the ability to have guys step up, and Michael Dunn's an unbelievable player. He's been able to do it, and now Zach being a young guy coming in and kind of learn from the older guys, but also taking what I could learn something from him. Now usually I'll learn something like, hey, why do you put your hands like that or that? And he'll be like, well, sometimes my hip gets open and I'll go like that. I'm like, oh, that's a great idea. You know what I mean? So there's always stuff you can learn from each other.
So we got to start with the hair. What into
Just woke up one morning, man, and thought I was ready for a change. I said that now that I'm 30, I want to go with a new look. I've been talking to my parents, my mom and my kids, and they all was like agreeing with me. So I'm glad I did it. I look better, look younger, look slimmer, so I'm happy about it.
The teammates been saying.
For sure. Say that again?
The teammates been saying.
They like the new look. They say I look younger, so I'm happy with it. I'm not the unk anymore, as they, classify me as. But I'm just happy to be back, man, with the team and just getting started with OTAs and just getting ready for training camp as it come upon us.
How'd they react when you walked in the room, though?
Ah, man, they didn't know who I was. But a lot of people had jokes, but, it's all love, man. Like I said, this is a brotherhood. You can come in how you want to and be yourself here. So I'm just happy to do that, man, and just excited about the new haircut, for sure.
What was the chief motivation for you to re-sign?
The culture, the chemistry with this team, man, everything, the brotherhood, man, the team camaraderie. I had chances to go other places, but I felt like I didn't want that, man. I felt like we didn't get to where we wanted to last year, man, and we got something that we need to finish here, and hopefully we can get that done this year.
So you look at the way the defense was in year one, obviously finishing one on a lot of metrics,
Yeah.
but obviously the playoff game not being representative of what you guys think you was.
Yeah.
What do you think is like one level of improvement, one area of improvement for you guys to really, make that run?
I said more time, man. Like I said, going into year 2 now under Swartz defense, everybody can now, get a little more comfortable. For myself, coming from a 3-4 system, I was always a guy who had to stand up, So just being down in the 3-point now, not really looking at formations was something new for me. But now I'm starting to get the hang of it, man. And as you can see, this year you'll see a better Z, I can tell you that much.
How much do you think, take pride? You see Miles go out and lift DP.
Yep.
Why? How much do you guys as a defense, especially as defensive line, take pride? It's like, we sort of, we had it was him and his talent, but, we made,
we said that before we even came in for training camp that he was going to get that. We saw that, from how he was working and preparing before practice and just the little things that he was doing. And as we all know, he's a freak athlete, man. It's big for him, but we all are happy for him. Hopefully we can run it back this year, man, and hopefully somebody else on the defense can get DPOY this year. But much love to him. I talked to him, and hopefully he'll be back soon. Talk to Dalvin, talk to guys like Shelby, man. So hopefully everybody will be back soon to where this thing can really get going.
What do you guys came up short in that Houston game?
I don't know, man, but I know something Coach told me earlier, man. We're not even gonna talk about the past, so we're gonna focus on the future. How about that?
All right.
Yeah, for sure. That was a great answer, right?
Not really, but bigger than me.
How much, as you've gone on in your career, how much have you, have you adjusted and, yourself as you go through this off-season program and, fine-tune what you need, and how different is it for you now, maybe compared to 5-10 years ago?
I said doing the little things, fundamentals. If you continue to do that before and after practice, man, you just better in your craft. I know I got a coach who always told me if you don't use it, you'll lose it. So for me to be able to come back out here and just get work, we got a new D-line coach. We're learning new things. A bunch of young guys, man, who want to learn. So it's all good for us in our D-line room, and hopefully we could come out and be a #1 defensive line this year.
So what are your impressions of Jacques then? I mean, it looks like he's really detail-oriented, pretty
Yeah.
clear. What are your impressions of himself?
I like him, man. Younger cat, man. He coming in, got manners, man, and he's wanting to learn. For real, he's the first one in the meeting rooms before we get in there, so that's a big thing. But I also told him today that we didn't have any snacks, so for sure he got to make that happen tomorrow for us.
Some of the new faces that you guys have added on defense, I mean, how for you as a veteran, excited are you to kind of work with them, and what are you saying to them already?
Very excited. For me, going into year 10, a lot of people don't get a chance to make it to year 10, but for me, man, it's just being that leader now. Growing up around guys like Terrell Suggs and C.J. Mosley, Eric Weddle, I learned a lot from those guys. So hopefully, for me now, as a vet, can be able to pass that down to the younger guys as we was just talking about.
What can you tell us about Hicks? You played with him in
Hicks.
Minnesota.
Yeah, great guy, man. We actually came out together in 2015. So for me to go to the Vikings, man, and for him to sign with the Vikings was big because I think at that time we was going into year 8 together. But for him in his 2 years with the Vikings, and I only played 1 there, but it was just that team camaraderie, man. He created that brotherhood because he's the one with the mic. He's the one that got to get the calls and got to talk to everybody. So for him to be that opening, man, and being a big brother from just coming here since day 1 means a lot, man. And hopefully he can hold it down for us in the middle.
See, how nice was it to feel wanted? For the Browns to back after you got traded.
Yeah, I mean, for one, I'm not a sorry football player, and for 2, I done been a lot of places, man, and made a name for myself. Being wanted, I'm not gonna say that is a thing, but for me to come back, like I said, I had other options to go, Miami, Washington. I could have went anywhere, but I wanted to come back here because I see something in this team that a lot of people just don't see, man, for being in the locker room. And I was talking about the team camaraderie, man. If we keep that close and keep the togetherness, man, we can go far this year, hopefully.
See, how nice is it for you guys to see Deshaun back in
Yeah.
there? And how much are you looking forward to really, kind of getting after it a little bit with, at least just the speed of the game and helping him get ready?
I mean, we're all excited. We get our #1 quarterback back, but, we got backups now, Jameis. We got the younger guys, too, but to have him back is big, for him to get his confidence back. I know that he went through an injury last year, and, coming back from injuries could be hard for a lot of people. For me, myself, I went through a back injury. Like you said, being wanted, I thought at that time career was over with, but for him, I'm just seeing the confidence, the smiles on his face every time I come to work in the morning, and just that leadership on the offensive side of the ball when something's not going right. He'll basically stop the play and come on, let's start over. So to have that leadership at our quarterback position is big for us, and hopefully, like I said, we can go far this year.